Welcome to the SiteEst for Concrete demonstration video. My name is Mac McKegg and I'll be doing your demonstration today. The SiteEst for Concrete workbook, like all other SiteEst workbooks, begins with a centralized database called Sheet C1. On Sheet C1, we have overall control of the hours in the workday, our labor burden by percent, we've got our sales tax by percentage, we've got vapor barrier thicknesses, concrete grades, wire mesh, and then we have more specific databases for our slabs, column pads, grade beams, trench drains, sidewalks, curbs, and walls. That being said, let's begin a quick takeoff. We have a small job here. We'll set it up on our index and we'll start with a 6-inch slab. Then we're going to do a 3x3 column pad and a 10-foot wall. With that being said, I'm going to begin on my 6-inch slab. My takeoff is 15,000 square feet. My concrete thickness is 6 inches thick and I have 300 feet of perimeter. My thickened slab is 250 feet long and it is 6 inches deeper than the rest of the slab and 2 feet wide. I have 250 foot of interior expansion joints that have to be saw cut. I have a number 6 bar, 1,200 feet of it. I have mesh in there that is a number 4 and I have 15,000 square feet of sealer. I have dowels, I have grading, I have stone. My grading's already in there. My stone is 4 inches. I have no dowels. I'm going to put in a 4,000 PSI mix on this. I have 15,000 square foot of vapor barrier with a 6 mil. I have 1 foot of styrofoam around the outside, and as you can see, that gives me $46,346 worth of materials. I have a 10% markup, $36.96 for tax, for a total of $54,677. Now I'm going to go over here and go to step 2 and do my production calculator. On a 9-hour day, these guys get 6,500 square. I look at my days and it says 2.3 days. And I say, my gosh, I don't want to go out there for 0.3 of a day. So I'm going to whip over here to C1 with my hyperlink and put in an 11-hour day. Excuse me, an 11-hour day. Now I come back via hyperlink to my slab and you can see I've got an 11-hour day. If I put in, say I can now do 7,500 square a day, I can do it in 2 days. It does allow for overtime of 6 hours with straight time of 16. I now go up to step 3 to do my labor. I'm going to demonstrate how to bring the cost in from C1 here. I merely type in OP1. That's for equipment operator 1. And I tab across to the number of men and I put up 1. Now you notice that these other guys are filled out, and where did this $28 come from? If you go back to sheet C1 and you see this OP1, you type it the same way on any worksheet, it will bring up 28. If I change that to 28.50, voila, I can come back here and my operator is now getting 28.50. Very easy to adjust your cost at the end. I have $5,922 in labor. Now I come down to my equipment and I've already filled that out. Now all this can be filled out and waiting for you if you want. You can come in here and change it and say, well, no, take 2 vibrators. And you don't need that generator. There's power on site. And you can go through and modify it, and you can bring other things across. So bear that in mind, and I now have a $2,700 equipment cost. What if I had to bring in the pump truck? Well, I'm going to bring in the pump truck, and it's going to be by the day. And the rate is $1,200, but we do a lot of business with him, so I'm going to put in half a day, 0.5. Number of items is 1. That gives me $600. I've marked that up. For overhead, I have $660. If we go to the top of our page now, you can see my slab is $63,900 or $426 a square foot for a 6-inch slab. Of that, 59 is labor, 27 equipment, 660 subcontract, and 54.6 materials. Now, if you're the kind of guy that likes to unit price stuff, as you can see, I'm 39 cents here and 18 cents on my equipment. So a lot of guys that say, well, you know what, Mac, that's real close to what I usually do. I usually get 45 cents a square on my labor, and I'll throw in 15 cents a square for my equipment. I can override that. And as you see, I'm still around 429. It doesn't hurt to work it up, but if you like the shortcut, there's one. If I'm now going to do a column pad, I click over to column pad and I begin with the number of pads. Number of 3x3 pads is 12. I come down and the excavation is going to be a 4 by 4 by 4 hole. My footing is going to be 3 by 3 by 12 inches high. My bar size is going to be a number 6 bar, and I've got 32 feet of it in each one. I've got a number 8 bar, and I've got 12 feet of that in each one. I have 2 foot of styrofoam, 1 foot of styrofoam, around the outside with 3,500 PSI concrete and 4 inches of stone. My pier would be 1.5 by 1.5, and the height would be 3 feet, number 6 bar, 15 feet in each one. Styrofoam height don't have, concrete PSI, let's use 4,000, and 4 bolts. If you look over here, that gives me $249 for my excavation, $32 for my stone. My total materials, $22.65. And again, I mark it up for sales tax for total material, $26.72. Again, I go to the top. Here's my production calculator. I can do 6 pads a day, gives me 2 days. I'm going to take an operator 1. Again, I'm going to have 1 of those. I'm going to have 3 carpenters and 3 laborers working on this. They're going to take a track steer. They're going to take a vibrator 1 at a time. They're going to take a generator, and they're going to take a 6-wheel truck. I can put those column pads in for $12,647, of which $7,000 is labor, $28,000 is equipment, $26,000 is materials. They're $1,053.99 each. Let's move on down now to a wall. I can use the scrolling on Excel, or I do have hyperlinks all over the place. It's up to you. Here's my wall. I'm going to skip the excavation on this guy and just say I've got a footing that's 200 feet long. And the footing itself is 2 feet wide and it's 12 inches high. I've got a number 6 bar in there that's 600 feet. And I've got a 4,000 PSI footing with 6 inches of stone under it, a little thick there. I've got another 200 feet for my wall. My width is 6 inches. My height is 10 feet. My bar size is a number 6 bar. And I've got 800 feet of it. And my concrete PSI is 4,500. And I have no bolts in this wall. Say I've got a little backfill here. I might have 4 foot high by 2 foot wide on one side and 1 foot high by 1 foot wide on the other side. I have 1 slab like that, and that gives me a total of 176 for stone, 540 for footing rebar, 630 for wall rebar, backfill of 112. I've got 2,500 allotted for ties, and you can put in how many ties per square. Total materials, 12,133 net. Profit tax, 14,314. Now, as you can see here, I've got my concrete broken out. I've got $1,600 worth of 4,000, and I've got 44 of 45. I go up here, and I'm going to do my production calculator, lineal feet per day. I'm going to do 100 feet a day by the time I do setup and tear down. I've already filled in my labor. I've got 3 laborers, 2 carpenters, 1 finisher, a track steer, generator, vibrator, trucks. I'll do that wall for $124.71 a foot. 41 labor, 11 equipment, 71 materials. And again, you can unit price this. If you want to say, Mac, I get $50 a foot for wall, then you're going to get $50 a foot for wall. Okay, let's take this thing home. We're going to go all the way down. As you can see, I've got standard curbs, chair backs, walks, sidewalks, and trench drains. I summarize here on one sheet. Tells me my total job's $23,000 worth of labor, 73 equipment, 660 subcontracts, 71 materials for a total bid of $103,541. Summary 2 tells me of those materials, 46 are in the slab, 22 are in the column pad, and 12 are in the walls. If there's anything else I can show you on this, we would certainly be happy to. And thank you for your time. Again, it's SiteEst for concrete.